Yo, what up guys, Travic here, and today I want to talk about Path of Exile's 2's endgame mechanics. I figured it'd be fun to do a little bit of a series talking about all the different ones and give you guys a little bit of insider information on how to really farm them and get caught up to speed. Lately, I've been doing a ton of Breach. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about a lot of Breach, so I figured today we'll spend some time talking about Breach and some of the really cool features about Breach. One of the things that Breach has to offer is it is the spot where you get these gloves, the Hand of Wisdom in action. These gloves are absolutely monstrous and insane, and a lot of builds are really using them. They give you 3% attack speed for 25 dex, they give you a bunch of flat lightning damage, and on top of that, if we bring on over the trade website and we refresh our search, they're relatively expensive. They're about 10 divines at the time of recording. Sometimes they fluctuate a little bit down, sometimes they fluctuate a little bit up, but they're very expensive gloves. Now these gloves drop from the Breach boss, and we're going to go over how to obtain the Breach boss, what it is, what the fight looks like, and what you could expect out of the fight. Now Breach, as I had mentioned, is a mechanic that is on your Atlas tree. You can indeed get points for Breach. You can set up a whole Atlas around Breach. Breach points come from killing the Breach boss. To get to the Breach boss, we have to do Breach and maps, and we'll show you guys how to do that. My Atlas for Breach right now is set up to give me more monsters and more class hands for more splinters. My Atlas is also set up for the 75% increased quantity of bleach splinters dropped, more splinters, more access to the boss, more chances at the boss, and more density. My breaches are also designed that sometimes I'll get really lucky in a map and I'll just have an additional 10 breaches. I did in proc this map last night, and it took me about a good 30-35 minutes to loot the entire map. There was so much loot absolutely everywhere. These breach nodes also increase the difficulty of the breach boss, and what's something that's really cool is that the breach boss on tier 0 can drop these gloves indeed. Now, breach on your map device is this symbol right here, this hand looking symbol. You can see it right here on this map. And if you ever forget what any of these symbols are, up here in the top left, there is a legend that will show you what each one of these little symbols means and what those maps have to offer. Now you can see on my map here, we have a lot of maps that I have currently set up to have breach. I am purposely farming breach, and I'm adding breach to pretty much everything that I'm doing. Is this it? What is this? What is this? What is this? Is this a citadel? Is this gonna be a citadel? What is this? C notes. That's weird. I don't know what that is. What? Breach is on my Atlas, and you too can add breach to your Atlas. Now, if you're going around the Atlas and you're exploring all the different areas and you want to farm a mechanic like breach, one of the best ways to do this is to use one of these precursor tablets. These precursor tablets will put inside of a tower, we'll click influence, and it will affect a large radius on our screen and increase a bunch of our maps with very cool, unique abilities. For example, this breach cursor tablet says 10 maps in range contain breaches. I can then transmute this, augment this, make it, pretty nice and get some stuff. We get increased quantity of breach splinters dropped in the maps that are affected by this. We get increased pack size, and I can even val this, or I can't val this. I can even alter this if I find other ones to attempt to get extra stuff going on for me. Now, these breaches can roll with a wide variety of ranges. You see they roll between 5 and 10. This one is 10. And if you get a bunch of small ones, you can actually 3-to-1 these. If they're all, they have to all be magic. They all have to be magic. They all have to be magic. If they're all the same rarity, we can actually 3-to-1 these and get in a brand new unidentified one. We had a bunch of 5s. Now we have a nice 8. This one has rarity on the map, more splinters drop. This one has pack size, so we're going to use the one with pack size. We'll save this one for later. Now we go over to our map device, we find our tower, we put this in, and we'll immediately start to notice breach pop up on a bunch of different maps. These maps are now all affected by breach, and we can indeed go run these. We'd like to find a nice layout, a nice big wide open layout. Those are the best breach maps. Like Valve Factory is not going to be a really good breach map. Steam Springs is going to be okay. Hidden Grotto might crash us. Valve Factory, not a very good one. We'll probably still run it because it has a boss on it. Sandpit, pretty okay. And we'll just kind of take a look around for one that we want to do. I haven't done Sump in a while. I don't actually remember what it looks like, but we're going to run Sump. This one has a boss on it, a breach, and it is corrupted, so it'll be a nice little map for a little showcase. We'll grab ourselves a tier 15 map. We'll make sure that there's no really weird mods on it that'll brick our build. Everything looks fine and smooth. We'll Valor map, and we'll actually kick it up to tier 16. Oh, this is gonna be a juicy one, Exile. We're gonna put our map in, and we're gonna pray and hope that we randomly don't get one shot. The reason why we're running this map is to show you what breach looks like inside of a map, what to expect out of breach, and just kind of give you a flow of an idea of what's going on. Once we do that, we'll pick up a breach stone, we'll go fight the boss, and we'll pretty much be where we want to be. So our map, just like normal, this is actually what the breach is going to look like right here. This hand, we're going to touch this hand, it's going to open, it's going to fill the entire map, and we're just going to see a whole bunch of mobs immediately spawn out, and we're just going to take care and kill all the mobs. This will open up nice and slow. We'll see right here, there's breach hand spawning. We're going to want to try to kill and follow this as much as we can around the map and try to kill as many mobs as we can to get as many splinters as we possibly can. Opening up these breach hands will also give us extra splinters, so we want to make sure that we click on these as well. Breach can be a pretty crazy mechanic, and if you don't have a build that is very good at clearing the entire screen, you might get a little overrun. Don't let it, bring you down. It took me a little while before my build felt good enough to do breach. It was a pretty hard mechanic at first, and sometimes you just get overrun and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it because, you weren't prepared. Breach in itself is really difficult. Your character's a little under-geared, but, don't let it get to you. You see that breach went really, really, really smooth, and we got a bunch of these little breach splinters. These are the big thing that we're looking for inside of our breach. We also see that we got a ton of extra currency. There's a stellar amulet that we're going to hopefully chance to do an Astramentus. We get a bunch of other little currencies, and we see right away we managed to proc another breach on this map. Absolutely wonderful. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to proc our breach. We're going to get a whole lot of little currency. We're going to get some breach splinters, and we're going to be off to the races. Now, like I said, that one note on your Atlas tree can indeed proc, giving you extra breaches. We see it procced in this video right now. These rare mobs inside of breach, they are dropping an absolute ton of currency. I really, really, really recommend breach if you get the opportunity to do it, especially when you have a nice juice map, like a nice tier 16 map. You're going to get so much stuff out of your breach that you're just going to be so thrilled that you ran these. Now, like I said, some builds are going to have a hard time. You really want to make sure that you have a nice build that explodes the whole screen. That's going to be the big takeaway from all this, because if you don't explode the whole screen, you're not really going to get the full value out of breach. And you really, really, really want to kill as much as you can. Oh my God, there's another one. Holy, hold up, wait a minute. Wait a second. That's crazy, dude. Another one? All right, we're in. Let's go loot all this, and then we're gonna go run a third one. Let me just take a look at what kind of loot we get out of this breach, right? So we're gonna blink over there. We're gonna do all this. Now, if you like this character that I'm playing and you're interested in seeing this character that I'm playing, I do have a video and a link below down in the description of the character that I'm playing. I love this monk. This monk has been absolutely fantastic. It has been an insanely wild ride all the way from the ground up, and I've been really enjoying sharing all the progression and the updates. But if you're playing something really cool that you guys want to share, you guys want to tell me, leave a comment down below. Like, I love hearing about all the crazy kooky stuff that you guys are playing, because I'm always looking for new ideas or something new to like toy around with. So if you got a really cool build that you're playing, you're doing breach with, or you got a cool build that's just doing really cool stuff and you want to share it, literally post it down below. I'd love to hear about it. All right, let's go grab our third breach. Okay, looks good. Feels good. Everything's dying right away. I can't port over there. Oh, Blake, please. I probably want to go down over there and kill all the mobs that are down over there. So let's make our way that way. Let's check over here. Kill the mobs behind us. We got to move it. We got to move it. We got to move it. There are a bunch of mobs. Oh, the beautiful explosions, bro. The absolutely beautiful explosion. Oh, triple exalted orb, one rare mob. Oh, so good. So good. Nice little rare tier 15. Go grab these class hands, kill these mobs, get our loot, kill this rare before. Oh, nice, dude. Let's go. Now this map has been absolutely bonkers. I am definitely 100%. I was originally gonna like skip the rest of this map for the sake of the saving time, but I really am curious if there's just more that we haven't seen so far. How many splinters are we up to already? We're up to 54 splinters. Now you need 300 splinters to open the boss fight. It does take a little bit of time to get 300 splinters. It is a bit time consuming, but you know, if you're just running maps and you're not really paying attention, you know, before you know it, you have 300 splinters. You're feeling really good about yourself, and it's time to go fight the boss. All right, let's see. Is there another breach somewhere in here? Maybe we get lucky and we get a fourth one. How crazy, absolutely crazy would that be? Another tier 15 map, looking good. Coming all around here. We got a nice little sanctum key or a trial of Secamus. Oh, all right. Is there another breach? Maybe. Nice quarterstaff. We'll worry about that later. That could have been the one, man. That could have been the one. Don't see another breach yet. Don't think there's going to be another one. I would be really shocked if there was a fourth one on this map. Okay, there's a fourth one. Oh my God, there's a fourth one. All right, I guess fourth time's the charm, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's pop this. Let's grab this essence. Yeah, breach is insane, man. Just look at all the loot. We haven't even like picked up any of the rares yet. We're just looking at like the splinters and stuff. There's another exalted orb on the floor. There's a breach hand over there. That quarterstaff's not very good. Coming down this way, killing all the rare mobs. We're gonna circle around here. Try to make our way up north to the mobs that we missed up here, because I know we missed a bunch of mobs. We're gonna hit this class hand, walk right over it. There's a rare mob that we missed. Kill him really quick. That's a tier 4 quarterstaff. We are definitely picking that one up and looking at that. Come down around here, check the breach, kill all the mobs, circle down this way because there's more breach. Nice little class hand again. Another class hand. I think that's it for this breach. All right. Get another splinter there. Come on over here. Dude, if there's a fifth breach in this map, I'm gonna lose my absolute mind. Okay. Grab this. Check this. Take this. Make sure that we're not missing any breach splinters. That's what we're really looking for. It looks like there's one there and one there. Let's go grab those really quick. Okay. Nothing there. We're up to 78 splinters in one map. Holy. Drop this. Get rid of this. Oh, we're full? Okay, we don't want this. We do want to take a peek at this really quick. Fizz crit. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. That's got potential. We'll mess around with that later.
I cannot.
Come over here. Grab this, make sure we're not missing any more breach splinters down here. Double check there. There's one last one in a tier 15 map. Okay, looks like we're about to be done. 4 breaches, 1 map. No clue who this is. Come on up over here. Kill these mobs really quick. You want to take a look at these boosts before we just dump them? Oh, we're probably gonna hold on to those holy cannolis. We don't want this. Definitely want this essence of the body. All right, looks like there's one more map. There's unfortunately no fifth breach. But I mean, I guess we got with a bang over here. Hopefully this, you know, this boss just kind of stops moving. Eventually. Okay. Auto targeting. Okay, beautiful. Lovely map. Very, very easy. Don't care about that. Grab this map. Grab this map. What do we not care about? Don't care about this. Grab this map. And we're off to go to town. And we're off. Sir, portals are disabled during the boss fight. The boss is dead. What do you mean? Okay. Now let's go dump everything and let's talk about the breach boss. So we dump everything. We're almost at enough fragments to go do the actual fight. And this actually works out really well because since we can't go do the fight because we don't have the fragments, we could talk about other ways to get the fragments. Let's put this in here. We'll dump everything into here. Worry about it later because it's not a big deal. Put this here, put this here, put this here. See if this is any good, whatever. Dump these, and now let's talk about the fragments. We are at 292 of the 300 required fragments to do this fight. Now we can go run another map to go get this, or we can come on over here. And we can just search up the word splinter and we can go find breach splinters and search for them in divines. Right now we see there are about 3 splinters to an exalt, and we can just buy the missing 8 that we need. It comes out to about 3 of them. And then we just put it in order. We buy our 6. We're still short. We buy our another 6. We're still, there we go. And now we have a breach stone. Instead, if you want, you can actually just buy the entire breach stone. It's about 87 exalted orbs for the fight. Or if I set it up in divines, it's about one div a fight. Now, if you're like, oh, I don't want to spend a whole div on the fight, I'd rather buy exalts, it's actually cheaper to buy a divine and then buy the fight and then sell the fight and then do a bunch of shenanigans. But we're not going to encourage shenanigans. We're just going to talk about the fight. Now, for me to do the fight, I need to make a quick swap of some of my skills. We're just going to grab cast on freeze really quick and this, and we're going to go into the fight and talk about the fight. The fight has scaling difficulties. You see that you can increase the level of the difficulty on your Atlas tree. And if you've never done the fight before, you'll start on tier 0. It's relatively easy. You just kill it right away. And as you get plus the levels, it gets a little bit harder. I usually can do +4. I'm going to attempt +4 on this video. It should be fine. With my luck, I'll die because that's how recording goes. And it is what it is. Now, to do the fight, you open up your Atlas stream. You're going to be looking somewhere on your screen. There's going to be this skull over here, and you're going to click this skull, and it's going to bring you back to where you started your Atlas journey. And somewhere around here, you're going to look for the realm gate. It's going to look like this. We're going to take our realm gate. We're going to throw in our breach stone, and we're just off to the races to go do the fight. We're opening up the twisted domain, and then we're just going to put D&D on so that we don't get interrupted while doing the fight. We're going to buff up our energy shield to make sure that we don't immediately accidentally get killed. And we're going to start the fight. When you do this fight, there is going to be the breach hand here. You have to follow the breach hand. This is a timed event. Every mob that you kill will give you more time. So you pretty much just want to follow the path, following the breach, killing all of the mobs that spawn. And eventually what's going to happen is while you're doing this, it's going to lead you straight to the end to where you got to go, and you'll be able to fight the boss. Now, the boss itself has a various level of mechanics. The mechanics will scale with the level of difficulty, and he'll do more and more and more mechanics based upon where you're at in terms of, difficulty. When I do this fight now, I'm not going to do the typical monk cheese with the whole Bell Eye of Winter. We're going to fight this guy somewhat legitly, because our damage is pretty high. So when I say somewhat legitly, I mean like we still do a whole metric ton of damage. So we're probably gonna, hopefully, fingers crossed, not accidentally get killed. Burn through the fight relatively simple, and you'll be able to see, a decent chunk of the fight and get an idea for what you're in for. I really like this fight a lot. I think this fight is insanely done. It's done so well, so absolute well. And it's been my favorite fight so far. I also really like King of the Mist, but that's because I did so much King of the Mist in Path of Exile 1. But we're going to be doing Ritual soon and talking about Ritual, and we'll go over all the Ritual shenanigans relatively soon. You see, we're coming down to the wire here. We've killed all the monsters. We're coming up these stairs. Hopefully we didn't leave any mobs behind. We should be fine. I would be really sad if we failed. I've yet to fail the timed portion of this. But you see too, we're getting a nutso amount of experience. We're 13% into level, and that's at level 93. So this place in itself is just a really good experience to farm if you can kill the boss. So we come on, this is the end over here. We get a bunch of free currency for making it all the way to the end, a bunch of catalysts, really cool, a nice little armor, and we'll mess around with that in a minute. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap our skills out. Because of we're playing a mapping build, we don't need this. It really doesn't do us a whole lot. We're gonna set up our cast when free setup. We're gonna give ourselves a nice little toxic mark for a little bit more damage. We're gonna open up a portal in case we need to zone out, and we can come right back into the fight. We're gonna buff ourselves up nice and big, and then we're gonna go engage the boss fight. And this is the boss, dude. He just looks so cool. Oh my god, I can't, dude. He's awesome. All right, here he comes. We hit him with our bell. We get him with a little bit of that bell action, ring-a-ding-ding-ding-dong. You know what I'm saying, bro? We dodge out of that. We hit him with the bell again. Oh, well, I guess we're not going to see any of his mechanics. Sorry about that. But we dropped the amulet. I was really hopeful we would drop the gloves while recording, but unfortunately we got the amulet again. Not worth a whole lot, but I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you get, you don't. But on tier 0, you can indeed drop the gloves. I've had a couple friends actually drop the gloves on tier 0. Tier 0 in itself is a relatively easy fight. The gloves, like you saw, they're about 10 divs each. I haven't done 10 fights yet. That was probably like fight 6 or 7 that I've done. So I'm still under the cost of the gloves in terms of getting them. So if you get the fight and you want to run the fight, it's a really cool fight to run. I really also recommend doing the fight a couple of times. Getting these points is so important for making sure that you are able to farm at the highest of levels. But if you have questions about Breach, or you want to talk more about Breach, or you're just a little confused, or you need some help, feel free to stop by the live stream both on Twitch and YouTube. Feel free to come by the Discord. The general channel for Discord for Path of Exile 2 is very active. There's a ton of people hanging out all the time, people you can ask questions to, and we'll a lot of us will get back to you and help you out with however we can. But for now, friends, I hope you've learned something in this video. And if you have any questions, like I said, don't hesitate to leave a like, a comment, do all that fun stuff down below. It really helps the channel a lot. And I'm going to get this video out to you guys. All right, I'll see you all in the next one.